Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to St. Lucia for the Battle of the Saints. This Rugby 15's match is between St. Lucia and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I'm your commentator for today, and I might be joined by a few more. We will see how that turns out. I am Jerry Benswick. I'm coming to you live on Winners TV here in St. Lucia. Both teams are lined up and getting ready to take the pitch. We have a full moon rising in the east, and as it rises on this game, we will see who rises to the top as winners of the Clash of the Saints. In a previous outing, St. Lucia traveled to St. Vincent and the Grenadines and came away with a very narrow, marginal victory. And so we're looking forward to seeing how they fare today at home. The Vincentians might be looking to take back what was lost on home soil and give the snub to the Lucians here at home. So, you're here for a live 15s match. Action-packed and ready to rumble. Keep your seatbelts on, ladies and gentlemen. 15s is no joke. This is rugby at its finest. Hard hitting, hard running, and lots of action. And we are bringing it to you live tonight. Stay tuned as we get ready to start. Both teams have taken the field for this encounter, and we are looking forward to an amazing game. We are getting ready for the playing of both national anthems to start this event. as both teams shake hands and get ready to start this match. It's friendly right now, but after this, it will not be so friendly. There will be a short break, pre-match break, before we get started, as they organize one vital piece of equipment. So let's talk about these two teams. First, before we do that, our match officials today: Kevin Morel and Chantel John, and the referee for this match is Caleb Hector. Our referee team for this encounter, ready to get things started here in St. Lucia. It's going to be a riveting game, and we're looking forward to it as the final pieces of the puzzle are being put together, and we await kickoff. Now let's go through the numbers as we talk about who is playing for tonight's match for SVG. We're looking at the loose head prop Dougal, James Hooker, Justin Title, I would say Tittle, tight head prop Benson Nanton. He's the captain of the team this evening. Left lock is Paul Jeremy Kirby. Right lock is Jean-Maire Samuel. Left flanker Frankie Joseph. And the right flanker Adam Koff. Number 8 Leonardo Kane. Scrum half Kevin Kane. Fly half Jonte Bowens. Left wing Dimitri Samuel. Left center Ken Moorhorn. Right center Richard Morris. Right wing Delon Durant. Yeah, I know Delon. Full back Sid Roy Bentic. Front row Brian Alexander. Another front row. These are all our players who will be on the substitution bench. Kemi, Jude Bazid, Clivert, Timol or Jaden. Gentlemen, ladies, we are getting ready for this encounter. Now, maybe we should have a look at the lineup for St. Lucia. Loose head prop, Mario Chico. Hooker, Neyman Lascaris. Tight head prop, Imran Williams. Left lock, Danlin Samuel. Sounds a lot like Darren Samuel. Right lock, Kurt Phillip. Left flanker, Dwayne Nathaniel. Right flanker, Flavien Gabriel. Number 8, Cletus Joseph. Scrum half, Jerry Charles. Fly half, Ethan Phillip. Left wing, Mohamed McLaurin. Left center, Tyrone Joseph. Right center, Yantez Jean-Baptiste. And right wing, Nico Joseph. At fullback, we have Jesse Francois. Our substitutes for this evening: Sisters Panfil, Lemarinin Louis, Shaquan St. Croix, Kevin Joseph, Ron Eugene, Omari Stanislas, and Benera Wellington. Those are the lineups for both teams this evening, ladies and gentlemen. The last time they met, it was a showdown in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And the Grenadians, well, the St. Vincentians came away with a narrow loss at home. Heartbreaking it was. And now they're here to take revenge. Let's see if they brought all the tools in the bag and are ready to take on this task this evening. And it is that time. We are ready to go. After a lengthy delay, this clash, this Rugby America's North Clash of the Saints is ready to begin. The match officials are making sure that all things are in place for them, and the final piece of the puzzle has been put in, and so we are a go for this men's 15s match between St. Lucia and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Your match officials are Kevin Morel, Chantel John, and Caleb Hector, your head referee. We are ready to go. These gentlemen have been waiting some time and are anxious, and so is everyone here. We're at Gros in St. Lucia, ready to kick off in the north of the island on a moonlit night with scattered clouds. Behind us, the sea. Before that, graves. I hope no one ends up losing tonight and feel like they have been put out. And to the right of us is the Gros party that starts in about 2 or 3 hours after this game. And that's where all these players will end up when they've done clashing at the Gros street party. We are in the party capital of St. Lucia, Gros. A few miles away from Castries, the capital. And the referee has blown the whistle and we have a kickoff. Poorly received and turned over immediately with a knock-on. That's number 3. This hook, this prop for St. Lucia. Quick to pounce on that loose ball, but a poor ruck from St. Lucia results in a turnover which the referee has to call back and award the scrum for the initial knock-on with no advantage gained. So, has the long wait affected the hands of the Vincentians, or are they just having the jitters? They've come a long way to face their opponents, and so we hope that they can find the legs and the hands to handle this matchup. Our first scrum of the night is St. Lucia's put in. We're just over the 10-meter line in the half of the Vincentians. Let's just call them SVG for the rest of the night and make life easier for your commentator. Referee doesn't like what he sees, and he has a making sure that this scrum is properly packed and reset for the start. A big strong push from the Lucians. Pick up from the 8. They spread the ball wide, run it, passing it, sending it through the hands. Now a carry by the center. A well-protected ruck here. Early stages in this game. St. Lucians testing the pack of SVG just to see what they can have. Oh, big bruising hit there coming in. Referee signals for no clear release on this player here. They have not quite a few yards gained immediately on the quick tap and go by St. Lucia. A bit of a bouncy pass. An overhead lob there called back. Didn't quite catch the number of the player who made that pass. I believe that was number 1, Imran Williams, who made that big bruising hit going forward just now. Imran, a very huge man. I would not like to be standing in his path when he comes bulldozing. This is 15s, ladies and gentlemen, the pure form of the game where the larger players are the most threatening. So we've seen about 10 meters gained in that advance by St. Lucia. They're now on what seems to be the 22-meter line of the SVG team. The scrum has been set. Ooh, crumbles down. SVG comes away with it. Big high kick put across, not handled very well. And Dillon puts man to the takes two more with him. Tries an offload, which actually works. Immediate on the attack is SVG, hungry for more. Quick outlet. Referee doesn't like the illegal infringement by St. Lucia. Signals for a penalty. Leonardo Kane there with the big heavy carry for St. Lucia, earning them a penalty. Oh, just hit in the stomach. Ball pops loose, turned over immediately. Blocked on the ensuing attempt at kick. And it will be St. Lucia ball off that tackle and knock on. Kenmore Horn, the number 12 man who got hit and lost control of that ball. If you're a coach, you have something to say about that after the game. Action here continues. Clashing into his own player calls the referee. Penalty immediately awarded to SVG. They seem to want to go quickly while the captain is having a discussion with the referee. Stoutly told to retreat. So you are not allowed to block the player when a wayward pass here from SVG causing a scramble for the ball. Referee doesn't signal that the St. Lucians were not onside. They were ahead of the 10-meter mark, signaled by the touch judges. So a tussle and a rumble here, and the referee has stopped time to check a man down in the play. A big fight here being put on by SVG, threatening the line of the St. Lucians, and in the process one of their players has gone down hurt. We hope he's okay. As they check him, I am joined here by Marlene Sherry, player who represents the island of St. Lucia.
Hi, Jerry. Marlene Cherry here. Hi, everybody who's listening. Thank you for tuning in. And it's looking like it's going to be a fight. As you know, St. Lucia and St. Vincent has a really good relationship. I think St. Lucia is going to be traveling later on this year. St. Vincent will be celebrating their independence, and it's usually a trip that we do, and we'll be over there playing the men's team. So it's looking good. A lot of competition there. I'm looking forward to seeing who's going to be the winner. I'm a little biased. I'm hoping that the Twin Peaks come out victorious. So let's see what's going to happen. Can I just say the colors, because I'm a girl. Colors are looking really good on the screen. That green and blue for St. Vincent and the yellow. And of course, St. Lucia is looking marvelous in their uniforms. Wow. What a wow.
Yeah, well said, Marlene. Well said. I love the commentary from our player from St. Lucia. So, while I was heavily distracted by Miss Cherry, the referee has awarded a scrum to SVG. And he has also given a penalty now to SVG for some indiscipline shown here by St. Lucia. Quick pop up and a lone warrior just blasts through, and what looks like a vicious high tackle. Referee's hand goes up immediately. A penalty advantage being played here. St. Lucia still going down the blind side. Referee puts a stop to this moment in the match, and I think everyone is trying to keep their temperatures down, as that charge that resulted in a very high tackle is being looked at by the match officials. And of course, naturally, he has reached into his boot in sock and pulled out a yellow card. That player, I haven't gotten the number of the player yet who got the yellow card. We'll have that information for you as soon as I can. So, back to the game. Down a man. Oh, a turnover immediately on that charge by SVG. St. Lucia, down a man, have turned the ball over right on the line and are now bustling down the pitch. Big, strong carry by the hooker. St. Lucia here putting together a few phases, showing what their forwards, their pack can do. Referee calling for them to use it, but on the counter is SVG. But as yet still have shown some indiscipline, not holding their body weight, and have gone to ground. Naaman Lascaris is the name of the number 3 who was carried. Now the ball is sent out to the backs in this unorthodox move in 15s by St. Lucia, but he's immediately met by 2 big, strong forwards who put him to the ground. A stab at a jabbing kick that is put forward, and another one sent back the opposite direction, which goes all the way into the dead zone. Referee now asking the captain of the Lucians what option they would like to take after that kick. I believe there's a break in play here. Some water is being carried onto the pitch. Captains are having a talk with the referee, So I am not exactly sure. Oh, we're coming back to the mark from where the kick was taken as the ball went into the dead zone. Now, once you kick the ball and it doesn't stay on the pitch from outside of the 22-meter line of your own half of the field and it goes all the way out, then it will come right back to where it was kicked from. And the opponents get the ball. So in this case, the number 9 for St. Lucia, Mr. Jerry Charles, will have the put in. A man of my namesake. So far the score remains 0-0. It's put in and immediately fed to the back. So are off to a very standing start, but showing some initiative in spreading the ball wide. A very, I'd say, flaky looking kick put in there and recovered. Immediately returned. Now the fullback is under a little bit of pressure, which he dismisses nicely. He puts a very short kick to halfway, but comes up to meet this forward charging into him and makes a good tackle. Referee has blown his whistle. Didn't quite catch that signal that he made, but it will be a penalty to SVG. So what we've seen so far is the game has been played in both halves of the game. Lucian showing more pack strategy and are willing to spread the ball wide. SVG are doing the same thing, I believe, but have not yet shown us what their back row can do. So here we go again. SVG on the attack, doing what they love to do, drive forward. Similar styles, I believe, from both teams. So threatening is SVG, but a wayward pass and a boot just coming in from nowhere. The fullback picks it up, makes a pass to his winger, who takes a darting run down the wing and gets by everyone and slides in for a tackle, for a try. My bad. That was amazing. A good pass from the fullback Sidroy Bentic to his wing Dimitri Samuel, I believe, who made that great run, beat a few players and scored as close to the uprights as he possibly could. And now we have a score. It's a match. It's going to be a long night. I see Miss Cherry has come to sit beside me, but her face shows the level of anxiety that she is feeling right now, having seen her team scored on. As it is in rugby, this happens. We await the conversion. Conversion taken, and it is good. The score is now 7-0 in favor of SVG. That kick taken by, I believe, was a try scorer. No, it wasn't the try scorer. I'll have that information for you as soon as I can to see who it was that made that conversion. So the score is now
11.
score is now 7-0 in favor of SVG. Here on home soil, St. Lucia finds himself a man down in the sin bin and a try and a conversion down as well. Restart to come. A nice high restart, which is bobbled and retrieved by St. Lucia's.
That was done by Yantes Jobaptist, one of our junior players coming up through the ranks of the school program that we had.
Yes, Sharma, telling us about
16.
her St. Lucian kids that she's coaching right away. It's just beautiful the way you jumped in there and gave us the name of the player that retrieved that turnover. Very well done, Sharma. Go ahead, tell us more. You have a junior program, you said, and this is one of your players?
Yes, we currently have the program going on for the past 3 to 4 years, and he was one of those who started with us and continued along the way, and he's come a long way. We have a couple more junior players lined up. We're currently on the field number 14, which is Chokwan Senkwa. He's also a junior player.
Great. And we see here St. Lucia now using their number 8 to make advances upfield. Referee puts his hand up immediately after that tackle for a high tackle. It's going to be a penalty directly in front of the sticks. And he's gone to his for a card again. So that's another player sent to the bin. So now both teams are down a player, and it will be 14 all, 14 on the field.
And it would appear that Kit from St. Vincent, I don't know what number he's wearing currently, but he's in the sin bin. Oh, number 12. He's wearing number 12.
So a very strange, unorthodox kick was taken across the field to the back row, I believe, and a lot of kicking here being done by St. Lucia, but they are following up their kicks with aggressive defense and causing turnovers. And the referee has signaled for another penalty. In the melee, I wasn't quite sure what just happened, but it's on and there's no time wasting as a bustling run is made and a try given.
Let us see if St. Lucia can eat
Flavian
this one.
Gabriel is the name of the player who ran through the line and made that rather bustling run and took out 3 or 4 players on his way to dot one down for St. Lucia, bringing the score back, bringing the score up to 5 against 7 with the kick to come.
And the kick will determine whether they even the score. Let's see what's going to happen if they're going to make the conversion. It's not on.
So the conversion goes wide and the score remains at 7-5. So yes, we do have we are I'm flanked by ladies in the commentary section here.
You're literally in the middle. You're a sandwich.
Yes, 2 St. Lucian rugby playing women who play for the national team have joined us here for a bit of commentary. We welcome them, Marlene Cherry and Shama. Shama, tell me your last name again. Let me get the pronunciation right because it's very strange.
Phil Jens.
Phil Jens.
That is correct.
Beautiful. Thank
Perfect.
you. Now I have it. I hope I can retain it. So ball taken by St. Lucia. They drive forward. Poached immediately off that bad pickup from the scrum half. And it's turned over again. So we have a back and forth turnover segment going on. A ball that squirts out the back, knocked on, picked up by SVG, who take it forward. Ruck formed. Someone steps over the advantage line, and the referee puts his hand up to signal offside. So penalty advantage being played here. We're still on the penalty advantage as SVG attacks. Referee will bring them right back for that penalty advantage from the offside.
But it looks like he called diving a while ago. He did this first. And then
the diving was after. So both teams seem to be doing similar tactics, throwing the ball out to the back and hoping for it goes to hand. And this time it works as number 25, Dylan Durant takes it across the line. It's not very often you see a front row player out on the wing in a 15s game taking on a much smaller winger and just dotted it down that easy. Complete mismatch and advantage taken. Some unorthodox passes being made here in this game,
Very much so. Very much so.
Would you agree, Marlene,
I
that
would definitely agree.
equal skills being shown by both teams?
Skills, you say. Yes, yes. I agree with that. Can I just say that the smaller players seem to not be, how should I say, afraid or intimidated by the big players. I'm seeing some really small players tackling big players. I must say it is commendable. I've been watching the number 10 for St. Lucia. I think his name is Nico, and he has been making some awesome tackles. However, the score does not show his effort.
All this awesomeness. Indeed, it does not. The score is now 12 versus 5 in favor of St. Lucia. SVG taking it to the Lucians here on home soil. And I do believe the Lucians are back up to their full complement of 15 after the sin bin minutes have been spent. Kickoff taken by St. Lucia, who chase it as they have always done. They're back in their pace in this game. Most of the tackles seem to be going very high in this game. We're hoping to see them lower it as the game goes on. Poor handling by SVG. However, with the high tackle penalty advantage, they regain possession. And St. Lucia is still playing defense and chasing a score down by 7 points. Still the first half of the game. It's been exciting. It's been unorthodox and frantic. But both teams came to play and we have a match. Nobody is backing down. A slow take here from the number 8 for SVG.
Oh, a lovely tackle by Imran William there.
I noticed that every time Imran makes a tackle, Sharma chimes in. We're going to have to ask our presenters to be less biased as we commentate on this game.
Wow, Jerry, that's going to be hard for us.
I am aware, but please try.
I'm warming up, guys. I'm warming up.
Please try. So SVG still have possession. Another wild pass thrown to the back. The fullback does his duty and clears it all the way into the 22 of St. Lucia. Picked up by their winger, who gets met by a decent tackle. Puts him on his back. Referee's right there to see it. And now sees an infringement. Not rolling away is the call. And so St. Lucia, what looked like could have been a turnover, regained possession, and here comes their forward making a big run. Nobody wants any of this man. He is just tearing down the middle of the pitch, has blazed past 6 or 7 players and finally brought to ground. Here comes another one, just as hard. He's met by 6 players, and this is now the real game.
Wow. We have Jerry as the scrum half, passing that ball on. St. Lucia still
Back
keeps
to Imran.
possession.
Yes. So, a pretty decent carry by St. Lucia. However, the winger bundled out of bounds, and referee, our touch judge, signals for out of bounds. A little discussion between her and the referee to make sure that they agree on what the call is. Short water break being taken here. We have to keep our players hydrated, and so this is a crucial part of the game.
Of course, we can see on the screen our touch judge from St. Lucia, Chantal. Yes, she also is the coach for the female rugby team, national rugby team of St. Lucia. And I'm not sure if Shama knows who our next official is in pink and blue. I think Jerry knows, so maybe we can let our listeners know who exactly they are.
His name is Caleb Hector.
That is it. Caleb is doing a wonderful job, and they look just as fit as the players, I must say.
Marlon, do you remember he actually refereed one of our games when we played in, I think it was Jamaica, the first time we had an encounter with him, and I found he was really fair.
Really? I never remember the good referee, so he must have been a good one. I always remember the bad one, so Caleb must have been a really good referee that I did not remember his name. So Caleb, thank you. Thank you.
I'm letting them. You guys can go ahead. All right. So now you've been watching the game so far, and you're here definitely supporting your solution team. But what do you think of the playing styles of both teams? I would say, does it look like St. Lucia will be able to come back and win this game as the score is now? They're not up, they are down. So we have to ask, what do you think?
Well, when it comes to St. Lucia versus St. Vincent, they've always had this kind of tug and war, I must say. So one year you'll find St. Lucia winning, next year you'll find St. Vincent winning. So from what I'm seeing right now, St. Vincent seems to want it more. They just seem to want it more. The way they're playing, the aggression, the commitment, the follow through, the support, it's just there all around. Now, I'm not saying that St. Lucia doesn't have that. I'm just saying I see it's more prevalent in the St. Vincent team. However, there is some unorthodox things I see happening. St. Lucian team rarely kicks, and I'm seeing a lot of kicks. So I am wondering whether they've been working on their kicks. I would imagine that the coach is going through some kicks with them. This is something that we have not been doing and has been implemented, and it's somewhat working, somewhat. So I'm hoping to see how this game turns out in the end.
Very nice. Thank you, Marlene. Anything to add to that before the game starts again, Shama?
I don't think I can add any more to what she said. I mean, it was so eloquently put that I was staring into the screen wondering, like, where was I a while ago? I'm like, damn, son.
So we are back, and thrown in taken there by St. Lucia, and they have maintained possession again. The big prop for St. Lucia, doing his business, taking ball forward, always effective.
But that tackle by St. Vincent, it was clean.
On
It
point.
was
And look
on
at this, a
point.
bustling run again by another forward. The forwards are having a great game on both teams.
I do agree.
And they're carrying the workload, which is as they should. When your forwards are not carrying the workload, then you need to check your team again. So here we are deep in SVG territory, and the pack is doing its job, doing the business. Tackles are coming in, stout defense by SVG, but the big men are making all the hard yards. Oh, a little bit of miscommunication there just now, and a turnover immediately by SVG. A blocked kick.
Beautiful.
Referee has made a signal here. Looks like a scrum being called. I'm not quite sure. The kick was blocked. I think the knock-on came after the block kick, so he did call for the knock-on. So, St. Lucia still deep in St. Vincent territory here, threatening as usual whenever they get down the pitch and using things from out the book that we have not seen in quite a few years in rugby, but effectively getting the job done.
What I've been told that this is the most dangerous place for any team to be in the offense aspect of this game. What do you think about that?
You are quite right, Shama. And as you can see from in the danger zone, as you call it, a beautiful run here.
My number 13, that would be Dwayne.
Thank you, Shama, for confirming.
And kicked away and
Now we have a spread ball here, sending it through the hands around the back row. He's manhandled a little bit down pitch. No clear release called by the referee. And so St. Lucia regains possession. The scrum half, Jerry, steps up to take it. He's not wasting any time or waiting for his pack to line up. He just sends the ball across field immediately to them, and they get back to the business of bustling down the pitch.
And the big guy who's been doing a lot of the tackles, he would go as Chico.
Chico,
What
yes.
is Chico's actual? Is that Chico's
Chico,
actual?
A little show and go there by the number one. That is
Right.
Imran, again, doing his business. Dwayne here making the next carry. The scrum half ushers the ball back.
And Oscar is going to try. He's going to see if he can make that try like he did a while ago, but he was shut down immediately.
And here we go. Deep in St. Vincent territory, carried by another big St. Lucian forward. Woo, that young man jumped the gun just now and is called offside by the referee. Hands up for penalty advantage. St. Lucia threatening, standing on the door. Ooh, a little bit of a miscommunication between the scrum half and Imran, and now the referee has to play the advantage, play the penalty advantage that he has given. Now he's having a chat with the players to explain to them some of the issues he's having with the indiscipline. And we would not like to see players being given a card and sent off for the 8 minutes that they deserve through indiscipline. So very good job by Caleb, our referee, to talk to them and let them know what his expectations are. So penalty to be taken. St. Lucia chooses to take a tap and go, gives it to Imran, who drives forward and dots it down about 5 or 10 meters to the left of the uprights and brings St. Lucia back within 2 points of tying this game. It's been quite a wild half, ladies.
Amazing. Imran did an amazing job carrying that ball through. And it is a try for St. Lucia. I feel like is there a mic on the field? Because I feel like, or some headphones, because I feel like they're listening to our commentary. I just said that St. Lucia didn't want it as much as St. Vincent, and they're showing me the opposite right now. Was that conversion scored?
It was not scored. It hit the bar actually. I was a little confused with that a little bit, but I guess the nerves had him, so he overestimated or underestimated. I don't know at this point, but we're still in the game. Look at it this way. They are still in the game, and we have 2 minutes left. Let's see what they do with it.
Let's see what happens.
So it's been a riveting first half. We have a almost tied game. We have 10-12 is the score right now in favor of SVG, who have traveled a long way to come here and bring the fight to the Lucians. Now that kick would have tied the game. Is the coach going to be upset? I would be upset. From that place where the try was made, we do not miss those kicks. That's not expected. However, as the ball is not round, it is oblong, it can go where it wants. So hit the uprights, and now we have a 2-point lead by SVG, who were a man down and are now back to full complement. So to close out this first half, in the last few more, a few more moments left in the first half, SVG kicking to St. Lucia on the restart. A deep kick all the way to the back. Immediately met with a hard tackle.
Number 12 has been put in his tackles. And number 4, I think, Kits and Jeremy.
So, we have a clearance kick made by St. Lucia, putting the ball safely out. Chose the long side of the pitch to go out for that clearance rather than the short side, but it made its way out of bounds, which is to safety, giving the St. Lucians an opportunity to set their defense and stop what could have been a try. So,
what do you think the coach is saying right now? Because I'm assuming that quick play would have taken them over the try.
Well, St. Vincent is very close to their try.
Well contested throw in.
Caught by, we call him Fish. Caught by Fish, and the carry by Chico again has been making some really good carries. Chico number 25 from St. Lucia.
So St. Lucia regained possession, driving the ball upfield close to their 22. Jerry at the scrum half commanding his troops, sends the ball to another of his forwards to take it forward. They want to put more distance between them and the try line before doing a clearance. So Imran again taking it forward, gaining 2 yards. I miscalculated that. I messed up that one. That was Chico, thank you. So now the clearance kick is made deep downfield, just over the half. The fullback is having a little trouble, and he's met by 3 St. Lucians, and he gets away from all 3 and is now darting down the pitch. He makes a decent lob over.
And there, number 11, a.k.a. Dimitri, a.k.a. Puss, making sure that he's safe. He kicked that ball away to save his life, man, because that tackle was coming in hard for him.
I am not sure.
It appears the pass was a forward pass, which was called by the referee. So we'll have a scrum put in by St. Lucia. This is the kind of game that keeps you on your toes, because you never know what's going to happen next. The playing styles are quite unorthodox, however, effective. Yards are being gained. Seems that both teams, they know each other seemingly very well as they are counterplaying each other in the balance.
I must say that this is 15s, very different from 7s. And I would imagine that I see a lot of 7s players there playing for both St. Lucia and St. Vincent. And I'm loving the transition. It doesn't seem to phase them moving from 7s into 15s. They're doing a wonderful job, I must say.
Scrum here. Blindside dart by Junior from St. Lucia. Retaining possession as he goes down the middle for the carry. Down the blind. A little bit of a love pass there to another, and a good strong carry by this forward from Dwayne, the forward from St. Lucia. A little bit of a tussle here by a couple of players for the ball. Referee doesn't like what he see based on the sound of that blast. Just a little bit of scuffling. So a lot of scuffling that happened just now, and the referee is bringing things to calm. He's in full control of this game and having a chat with the captain to ensure that he understands what's happening. Then, of course, for whoever has made the infringement, this yellow card has been issued. As soon as I can see the number of this player, I will let you know who it is. So, the man sent to the bin in the fracas is their number 8, Leonardo Kane. And a little bit of indiscipline there by the number 8, which resulted in him getting carded and bringing St. Lucia back down to 14 players. That's their second card for the match in the first half. Sorry, SVG, my bad. So they're both Saints. It's the clash. It's the clash of the Saints.
They are.
If we get them a little mixed up, it is not our fault.
All Saints on the field.
All Saints on the pitch.
Let's hope that
Clearance kick here made by Jerry does not go to touch. And
touch.
somebody needs to put
Amazing
a body
run
on that gentleman who just ran by half of the St. Lucian team, but stepped on the line in the end. I'm wondering if anybody saw him coming, because nobody put a body on him or tackled him at all. He was blazing down the wing at what looks like about 70 miles an hour.
St. Vincent is down one player. We were hoping that St. Lucia would take advantage of that, but
I'm sorry, we're hoping?
we were hoping.
That sounds very biased, man.
Yes,
this commentator.
very biased. Could you cut that out? Could you cut that part out, Jerry?
No, we cannot. You have said it, it's gone. It's gone. It's out in the whole world to hear. So, our biased commentator is hoping for St. Lucia to take advantage of the short player. A nice throw taken at the back here by St. Lucia. Bustling run up the middle by Dwayne, supported by his hooker.
By Leroy.
Who takes it to ground. He's taken to ground by SVG defense. The forwards here for St. Lucia the St. Lucian forwards are definitely doing the business. They are making lots of decent carries. He's met this time by strong wall of green as blue bursts forward. Oh, from a standing start. Here we go. A little bit of offloading genius being shown here by St. Lucia and a wild pass thrown over, trying to cut out the entire center line and get to the winger, but did not go to hand and bobbles out off the pitch for a throw-in to SVG. We still have a few minutes, like a couple of minutes left in this first half, and the game is 12-10 with so much action happening on the pitch. Sharma just made a very excellent point that when the forwards have put in the hard yards and then the back row gets it and a pass like that is made, it breaks your heart as a forward. So I expect someone to be answering some questions later on to the forwards as to why that happened. Ball is thrown in, goes on the St. Lucia half of the pitch. Another nice carry by the front row. Now they spread it to the back row, trying to see if they can get something going. Cut out passes, left, right, and center. Here we go. Another darting run. Sends it back to his center. And another ball that does not go to hand. A man down on the play. Two men down on the play. Slow to get up is Dwayne from St. Lucia. But quick to get up is the number 10
Ethan.
from St. Lucia. Ethan.
That would be
Thank you, sir.
Ethan.
So we're in the thick of it, ladies and gentlemen, coming into the dying moments of the first half. The score is 12-10, as you can see on your screen in this Saint clash between St. Lucia and St. Vincent and the Grenadines here in Gros. A clearance kick by SVG puts them out of danger deep in the half of St. Lucia. Wasting no time is the fullback to St. Lucia, who sends it back upfield. It finds the hand of a very big and strong and menacing looking SVG player, who takes it all the way down into the 22 after running over like a freight train at least one player, carrying three on his back and bundled out of bounds in the end. I was almost certain that he would have gone in for all money, but some stout defense there by the Lucians, throwing everything they had at him to stop this big menacing forward. I think that was the number 8.
20, no, that was number 25. That would be Dylan.
That was Dylan?
Yes, that was Dylan. That was Dylan. I was watching. That was Dylan as he rammed through.
That
like a
was
freight
Dylan.
train.
You are quite right, Sharma.
My junior
and
player.
therefore, we should not be surprised at the power and strength of that man. He is not a simple-sized person. He is a massive human and very strong and very light on his feet for his size. Look at the speed and pace at which he took that ball, fearlessly running over the Lucian. So we're at halftime now, ladies and gentlemen. It's 10-12 in favor of SVG as we enjoy this very exciting match here in Gros, St. Lucia. The matchup and the clash of saints.
Battle of the Saints.
Battle of the Saints. Thank you, Sharma. The RAN 2025 Men's 15s, Senior Men's 15s Championship. So we are getting ready to start the second half of this matchup between St. Lucia and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So far, the scores are 12 to SVG and 10 to LCA, St. Lucia. So what we've seen so far in this match, in the first half, very similar playing styles from both teams. A lot of good carries by their front row and some rather unorthodox but seemingly effective play by the back row of both teams. A little bit of ill discipline shown by both. Some yellow cards have been issued. One for St. Lucia and two for SVG so far. We're joined here by Ricardo Delaware, the aka Yellowman, coach of SVG. Coach, what was it you said to your players in the before starting the second half?
I tell them don't stop. When we are training, okay, when we are training, the pads, stick to your pads them and everything will work out.
Very good, very good, very good. So are you saying that based on what you saw in the second half, the pod system was not being effectively used by your players?
It was using.
They were using it
Yes,
effectively.
yeah.
And you're encouraging them.
I would always score for to try from score.
Okay, great.
Using the pads them.
Okay, great. So you're encouraging them to keep the pod system going to look into the second half.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and on defense, what kind of tactic are you hoping to employ on defense with them?
Just go low, start the big guys them,
Yes.
get the ball and pass it out to our wingers.
Very good, coach. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Have a great second half.
Yes.
So, back to the action. Immediately from the take in, a penalty to St. Lucia, who wastes no time. There's a runaway train on the pitch. Somebody please get the number of that card. And a knock on, a one-handed knock on, intentional by SVG, trying to rush back on defense. Now a scuffle for the ball. Referee doesn't like what he sees, so he's coming back for the penalty here. So to begin with, it would have been an offside, not retreating 10 down in the half of St. Lucia, but with that quick take and dart down the pitch, now they find themselves in their own, deep in SVG territory as we're going onto the other side of the field, having changed over from the restart. So St. Lucia has come into the second half with a lot of life energy and what seems to be gusto, ready to take it to the SVGs. They're playing hurry-up offense here, not slowing down for nothing. And at this point, there's a man down. His teammate does not wait for him. Instead, he pops it. He pops it to Junior. Junior takes it forward. Another drive by the forwards of the SV of St. Lucia. Edging on that line now, inches away. SVG putting up some stout defense, trying to bust them off the line. Possession is still being retained by St. Lucia on this attack, who are still threatening. Now they spread it wide to the big men. A big wide pass out to the wing. Doesn't go to hand, but still gathered. Still in the possession of the St. Lucians, but the referee has now blown the whistle as it seems temperatures are flaring, and I'm mixed up with my words. I gotta say, I've not expected a lot of scuffling to be going on in this game, as there's no real bad blood between these two teams, but as it is now, they're giving it their all. So with a lot at stake for both teams, St. Lucia, determined to win at home, are fighting to get on over this SVG team, who seem to have come very prepared for this match and are obviously trying to do what coach has just told them, which is use their pod system and take the big guys down. A difficult task if you ask me, but so far they're doing a fairly decent job of keeping them out of the try zone.
I think it was a medical timeout, as Oscar, number 8 for St. Lucia, was still on the ground for a long time.
Yeah.
He was just checked out by the medic. As you can see, she's walking off the field. He seems to be okay, so we're restarting the game.
Thank you, Shama. They're packing in the scrum now. Ball in the hands of SVG, deep in their own half. Let's see if they can clear their line and get out of danger. Referee doesn't like what he sees, tells them to stand up.
So, how many penalties can one get? When I say penalties, how many times can a referee pull up the scrum before he decides to send it down the line?
It depends on what the infringement is. If it's just a case where they're not binding properly, he's gonna let them stand up for safety reasons. But if they are crashing in or pushing too early, then he'll just award a penalty either way. So there's no real time limit on how many times he can or can't tell them to stand up. Now he's awarded a penalty. Not rolling away, I think, was the call, and immediately taken by the way in from St. Lucia, who just darts for the line and is met by a wall of green. These guys are trying to keep them out of the zone until finally the ball was ripped loose and then kicked out. But the referee has blown the whistle, it seems. I'm not sure why, as our angle here wasn't very good to see what the infringement was. So we're just waiting to see what the referee is pointing. He's pointing at the mark, which means he's giving a penalty again. So St. Lucia have retained possession and have a penalty. They're not taking any scrums. They're just popping the ball out to the forwards, who are darting forward and hitting the line. And now they have finally gotten across. The egg is cracked. St. Lucia are now in front at home after that determined start of the second half, driving down pitch and relentlessly hammering at the Vincentians until they finally crack that egg. And now the score is 15-12 in favor of the Lucians with kick to come.
With only 3 points ahead, it's anyone's game at this point. I mean, we're still early, but as we saw in the first half, it is an on your edge of the seat kind of game. Don't blink because you'll miss something kind of game. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a battle of the Saints.
So we don't normally see a drop kick taken from that distance in 15s. Usually it's a placement kick, but the choice was made.
Shaquin Senqua, number 14.
Number 14. So I'm not sure why. Maybe that is the practice for that player or for this team. He's a kicker of that sort. But usually in 15s, you do have enough time to set your kick. Place kicks are more, I would say,
dominance in the 15th game.
and more logical as the percentage rate of success is much higher than a drop kick at all times. So I'm surprised they're not using place kicks in a game like this. However, score is 15-12 now. St. Lucia up for the first time. And we have a game. Here we go.
And again, the kicks are nice and deep.
A little show and go and a pass to the winger, but it's a forward pass. Nice show and go there. Just a pity that the pass wasn't properly executed and went forward. So in rugby, one of the things we have to tell our viewers is if the ball leaves your hand, the referee is looking at several things: where the ball travels and how your hand goes for a forward pass to be called. And a forward pass is usually when the ball leaves the hand and does not go backward or at least vertical. So you have to make sure the ball travels as much backwards as it possibly can, and that hand action needs to complement the pass as well. So we got a scrum awarded for the forward pass, and it is St. Vincent put in. As usual, the referee is making sure that this scrum is properly packed. There's a safety issue here where the front row has to be properly aligned. They must set their bodies. The second rows must go in and lock in, and before the scrum is set. Now, someone must have gotten up early, and if they're lucky not to have gotten a penalty in this situation, and if the referee's patience is being tested here, he's definitely going to start just awarding penalties for the infringement. He has made several attempts at telling the players what he wants. So if you see him just awarding penalties after this and not saying anything, it is because of ill discipline. Now, a scrum is a crucial part of Rugby 15, probably one of the most vital parts where the pack power comes into play. But you have to be properly set, and discipline is key.
Now, in rugby, a lot of people may not know this, but safety is essential. It's our top tier priority. Thank you. Because without safety, we will not have a game. So in one of the areas that we look for safety the most is in the scrum. So you will get a referee setting the scrum as many times as necessary, because safety is number one for us always. Player safety always.
Well said, Shama, well said. So we wait for the scrum to be properly set and to the referee's liking and for safety's sake. Here, it looks properly set now. Ball is put in. Pushes on. SVG have maintained position. Picked up by the number 8 who darts forward. Takes a couple of guys with him. Throws the ball backwards in attempts to make an offload. The ball is held by St. Vincent, who have jabbed a little kick by the center forward to try and get across the line, and kicked out the back.
By Yantes Jean-Baptiste.
Thank you very much.
Dimitri actually was the one for St. Vincent who tried to do that kick pass and run to try, but St. Lucia was not having it.
Cleared out the back door. Referee signals for a scrum to SVG. So, a wheeling scrum here with a loose ball that's picked up by SVG, and they take it across the line for a score. Ah, yes, I'm telling you, back to back. I say, what am I saying? Try for try.
Try for try. And if you notice, that ball was loose for a second.
It was
out of
loose,
that,
and nobody
scrum,
picked
and
it up.
nobody wanted it.
So, of course, the SVG, hungry for that ball, picked it up, made it across the line, and now the score is 17-15 with kick to come. I see Jerry for St. Lucia having a discussion with his team, talking about that error that just occurred. Now a place kick is being taken here by SVG, not a drop kick.
Well, as you said earlier, it's the first time for a lot of things in this game, and it's things that you have not seen in a while. So
You're quite right. That that conversion was missed. So the score remains 15-17, and as you said, my dear, anyone's game.
anyone's game, 2-point lead.
It's been a 2-point lead for this whole game so far. It's the highest margin of that was held was 5 points. So we expect this game to go down to the very last moment because the score continues to go back and forth. So restart to be taken by St. Lucia after that, allowing SVG that easy try. SVG with a little show and go through the middle. Nice distribution of the ball here by SVG, using the width of the field and using the slyness of their players to get through. Oh, a decent stab through the middle here between the fullback and the winger, who nicely replies with a arching kick, puts it back to the fullback on the other side, who puts it up on the attack. Referee calls for offside against SVG. Very
SVG or against St. Lucia?
against St. Lucia, my apologies. I've just seen it. I thought it was someone ahead of the kicker. And I'm sure we just saw a try being scored by
That is
SVG
correct.
by a player who just ran, number 13, who just ran through what seemed like the entire team and scored.
Richard.
His name is Richard Morris, who just took it straight down the belly of the beast and put it down over the line. I think everyone is in shock.
But did you see his determination? He didn't look right, he didn't look left, he was just going.
And the conversion is good. So back-to-back tries.
Back to back. You called it. Commentator's curse. You called it.
It is a real thing. Now I know for sure. Commentators curse. Back-to-back tries, and the score has been stretched a little bit. Now we have 24-15. Oh, wow. What a game.
Almost a 10-point lead now. But still, it's anyone's game.
I must admit, I was a little speechless when I saw him run down the pitch just now, because I was trying to figure out why there was nobody tackling this gentleman. And he just went straight through, ghosting through the middle. Scored a try with everybody watching him do it. And now you can see the body language of our St. Lucian players not looking as strong as they did when they started the second half. Let's see if they can find their way back. Kickoff bobbled. Referee calls a penalty. Some more ill discipline being shown here, and the referee is being very patient with these players, trying his best not to sin bin anybody else.
Yes, he is. And you could see in his expression that he really wants this to stay a safe game. And the ball was just ripped from number 4. That was a clean rip by St. Vincent.
Ball recovered and kicked upfield by St. Vincent. Another high tackle. Advantage being played.
And he has been
St. Lucia has it. Protected. Referee tells them to stay on side. Now Jerry swings it to the forwards on the other side of the pitch, who would make a big carry into what looks like a very loose area against smaller players. He's taken to ground nicely. Ball is protected. It's still in the hands of St. Lucia. A big forward comes charging around the bend. Picks it up, offloads. Dumps it on the floor for another offload. He's isolated. And the penalty is awarded. So, very good defense here by SVG. Not quite sure what to do with the ball. Now it's number 3, but then he takes it and just pops it off to his forwards. And number 8 just calls them and says, come with me, here we go, guys. Let's take it to these fellas. But he's put to the ground immediately by St. Lucia. Ball whipped out to the winger, but that's a forward pass. I could see it from here, but the penalty is called back for the high tackle, I believe. Substitute being requested by a St. Lucian player who is saying, listen, I've had enough. He's saying, let me go. I gotta take a break here. He needs a few minutes to catch his breath. So he's gonna take a break. But the play continues. No proper signal has been made by the referee for the change. Offload nicely made. Another high tackle comes in. Referee puts his hand up for a penalty. Now we have a... So here we go, no advantage game. Referee put the whistle on. The kick is taken quickly by Oscar. And the gentleman who is not on side tackles him. Referee is still playing a new advantage. So this ball will still be in St. Lucian hands if they don't turn it over, or even if they do. St. Lucia still on the attack. Just crashing into players, trying to get across the line. Making their way downfield inch by inch. SVG fighting tooth and nail to try and keep them out. Counter ruck attempt here by a much smaller player than the guys that are holding the ball. Referee's going to bring them back for the penalty. That was a great counter ruck by what seemed to be a player half the size of the guys that were protecting the ball. Cherry takes it as quickly as he possibly could in the circumstance. And Dwayne darts down, makes a brilliant offload out the back. And it goes to hand, and across the line goes St. Lucia once more, bringing the score to 20-24 with kick to come directly in front of the uprights. So, what looked like would have been a runaway by SVG is now a 2-point game, 22-24. I thought that SVG, when they had the ball, would have slowed the game down. Now they have the lead, take control, but they went quick out of their own try rather than go for a kick. So that this, as I said before, this is an unorthodox game.
Yes.
So some of the, I would say, conventional aspects of the game we're not seeing here. Where in that situation you get a penalty, you're deep in your half, you go for a nice long kick down pitch, drive the other team backwards. That wasn't done. They're just doing, tap and goes and taking it from deep in their half, driving up the pitch, but being isolated in the process, turning it over. We're seeing a lot of that happening on both sides.
On both sides.
Which questions just a little bit of the styles of play and maybe what we hope will improve as the next set of games come out after this.
But you as a coach, Jerry, putting a little bit of your
Hold on, be careful how you say coach. I'm not coaching right now, but anyway, I have coached. Go ahead.
What would be your advice to your players at this point?
Well, first of all, I don't think I'd be able to say anything to these guys at the moment. I would basically say to these guys, have some fun, boys. Have some fun, because right now we are not on script. Just have fun. But I digress. So, kickoff taken. And collected by St. Lucia, who jabs it down pitch. It's returned. A decent kick goes to hand. He pressures the tackler and gets the ball back. This is some good stuff showed here by SPG. Great heart. Ball well protected. Just handed off to a player who was standing still. But there's yardage being gained right here, and a determined Dylan doing the business, taking it down the blind side and dotting it down for another try to his name. Referee checking with the match official on the sideline to ensure that he was not out of bounds. It would appear as though he did step on the line on his way to the try line, so the try was not awarded. But another brilliant run by Dylan, taking out a few players on his way and dragging a few of them on his back across the line.
Let me tell you, Dylan is the definition
Beast.
of a powerhouse. Oh my
In
goodness.
rugby, we call that the beast, and here he goes again. I think he just ran over somebody and did not take any names. Number 25. Number 25, Dylan Durant, doing the business today.
If you didn't know his name, you
Know it
today.
now. Next time you face FCG, SVG, look out for number 25, Dylan Durant. He is a powerhouse.
Yes, yes.
That's his, I believe, his third try today.
It is.
It is a hat trick.
A hat trick. And the score is 22-29 in favor of St. Vincent. And that kick was not made. Almost inched a little bit more away from St. Lucia. But again, the night is still young. Second half is still young. It's anyone's game.
I agree. It's because I think when we down to the last minute, we can still say it's still young. And it's anyone's game. Let's see how St. Lucia responds to what seemed to have been an onslaught of SVG attack to come back and take the lead from what looked like a revitalized St. Lucian attack.
To me, they look it seemed like a coordinated attack. You know, like the military sent in the black squad. That's what that looked like a while ago. Coordinated, time, precise, and thought through. Let me tell you, the night is young. It's young.
Information that just came to my phone. Someone reminded me that Dylan has a nickname, but it's a very secret nickname, so I'm not allowed to say the whole thing. I will just say, and this is for him when he's watching the game on the replay, he will know that I said his nickname on air, and it is GI. I will say nothing more.
Ooh.
GI is his nickname.
Now you see, now you started something. Now
Yeah,
I want to know what the rest of that nickname
Yeah, he's
is.
gonna have. You gotta ask him. I am not willing. I cannot say. It's a top secret nickname. So leave it as that.
You can bet your bottom dollar I am going to find out what that nickname is, because
You're gonna have a difficult time. But GI is on the charge, and he is doing the business of keeping SVG in front of the home team. Here we go. Water break is over, and we are ready for the restart. St. Lucia to kick. So as it is in rugby, for our newcomers to the game, when you get scored on, you have to kick the ball back to the team that scores on you. It is an unforgiving sport. So you not only get scored on, you have to give them the ball back. But you have an opportunity to win it back yourself, just like that. By kicking it just over the 10, well, the ball seems to have not traveled the full 10.
It did travel the full 10,
but there was a
but
knock-on
it was
on the
knocked
play. There was. So it was batted backwards, but the player who touched it after knocked on the ball.
Now, ideally, that would have been an amazing play if it had gone through, where the solution player knew exactly where we want They wanted
He
the
should
ball
have
to
been.
be.
Let me tell you what you're trying to say. He should have been expecting the tap back, and he should have gathered the ball properly. That's the expectation. However, it's rugby. Sometimes the ball doesn't go to hand, and you get a knock on. I understand your frustration.
My frustration. There's no frustration for me tonight.
All right, you're enjoying the game.
I-
So the put in, it's taken by SVG, who immediately hands off to the blind side winger, who darts around everybody and is running home free with his hands pointed to the sky, saying, "Here we go, one more try." SVG on the board again, and they are running all over the place, hugging and celebrating that try.
That would be Kits. Number 12.
Dimitri Samuel, aka Kits. Number 12? That was number 12.
12,
My
Kenmore.
bad. My apologies. Kenmore home.
AKA
Number 12.
Kits.
AKA Kits. Wow, what a try. He beat everybody down the blind side. And that was a great pass from the scrum half.
It was.
And he ran a beautiful line coming around on the inside of the scrum and then taking it back outside to where the space was. Great identification of space, good use of footwork and power, beating the player, and the conversion is good.
It's good.
Which brings the score to 36-22. We have an extreme game now. Now St. Lucia has a hill to climb. They're not wasting time to take the kickoff. They have done so, but it's fully retrieved by SVG, who seem to be having more fun, because here goes Dylan again. The big man is going for a fourth try. Smashing into people, making offloads, but a smart tap back by Leroy, the hooker for St. Lucia, preventing what would have been a decent offload and a possible try.
That is correct. Well, notice what I've noticed. I don't know if you noticed it, but St. Vincent's, all their tries happen on a run-on ball. Everything they did, their players will get up to run onto that ball, and it was just like a juggernaut. I don't know if you all watch X-Men. Juggernaut was in motion. They kept going and going until...
Speed and power.
That's correct. So we're back at the scrum, and it's an SVG puts in.
Ball picked up at the base of the scrum by the big number 8, who drives forward and drops down for another try, extending the lead by 5 points, bringing it to 41-22. Another brilliant upward mobility play by SVG, who are looking to take this train and run away with the game. We can see by the body language of the St. Lucians that they're not quite sure what is happening. St. Vincent are taking the coach's advice. Coach said, stick to your pods, and it is obvious that they are sticking to their pods. Now they're really having fun. This kick comes from way across, and it goes through. What a brilliant kick. Brilliant kick from all the way across the other side of the field. That was a brilliant kick taken by our number...
Was it number 9? I did not see.
Yeah, I'm not sure who took the kick. I'm going to have to check. Anyway, let's get back to the game. St. Lucia down by many, many points, and now walking slowly to take the restart. I'm not sure if they want any more of this, as it seems they are being hammered now by SVG. SVG yearning, eager to get more ball in hand. So a deep kick goes over the head. Finally, oh, it's bobbled and knocked on and kicked out of bounds. Referee signals for scrum.
He called the knock on first. He was on it.
Our referee tonight, our match officials tonight doing an excellent job of marshalling this game and keeping the play going, letting the players play, talking to them, calming them down. At this point, I think full control, and now they look like they're playing much better, far less high tackles in the second half than what we saw in the first.
Half.
But now there's something else that we have noticed. It seems as if the St. Lucians have lost their legs and the SVG players have gained theirs. They look stronger, they look more determined. St. Lucia's players look a little bit tired at this point in the game. We have to start asking how much do they have in the tank going towards the end of the second half. We're halfway through the second half, more than halfway through, and we're looking to see if they can fight their way to get back into this. Voila. So, ball knocked on in the carry there by St. Lucia and picked up and kicked away immediately by SVG, clearing their line and getting out of danger. So, St. Lucia takes a quick tap, but the player wasn't quite sure if it was legal or not. But hey, it's still going. And the winger gets it. He gets smashed. He's a young under 19 player, I believe, who just got sent into the game, and somebody put him to the ground to say, "Welcome to senior rugby, youngster."
So currently on the field, we actually have 5 under 19 players
At this time. Being introduced to the senior competition at an early stage, which is a good thing. Gain that experience going forward, be stronger for the future. So, after that knock on, a scrum being awarded to SVG deep in their half. I can see that their chests are up at this point. They don't look flustered. I believe they're substitutions being made. Unfortunately, I do not have the number of the player that was substituted at this time, but I'm sure once he touches the ball, we'll be able to mention his name. So, referee not happy with this scrum again. He's trying to keep them settled and let this game play on. A little bit of reshuffling in the SVG scrum, stuffing people around, saying, "Hey, let me do this since I know how to do it better." So,
again, people at home, safety is a top for us. So this scrum is going to get loosened until we have it right.
So let's talk about the scrum. Scrum is 8 men locked into position, pushing against each other. Why is there a scrum in rugby? Let's talk about that. A scrum, for an infringement such as a knock-on where the ball hits the hand and goes forward, or a forward pass, a scrum is awarded. Now, this gives both teams a chance to tussle for the ball, but the team putting in the ball has a distinct advantage if they are strong enough to maintain it. Like you just saw, SVG put the ball in. They were able to maintain possession by not being pushed over the ball by the opposite team. So a deep kick taking them upfield where they can now attack St. Lucia, who did a smart clearance from out of his 22, put it out on the side. Now this is conventional rugby. Clear the ball all the way upfield, put it on this out of touch, so it gives your defense a chance to reset. Now you're back in this SVG half of the pitch, and you are defending from there rather than defending from home.
So the substitution was Mr. GI himself as he saunters off to his camp. Dylan Durant.
Durant. We need to find out who went on the pitch for him, which is the information I do not have yet. So SVG have possession, a very high lobbed pass to the center, who stoutly holds on to it.
And as you can see, those high passes are dangerous. Well,
Very dangerous. However, they were
lobby passes.
It was a very high lobbed pass, and but the tackle was improperly executed as it was high, and now a penalty awarded to SVG, who are not feeling any pressure whatsoever. This kick is taken nice and deep, and it bounces kindly for SVG and goes outbounds, putting them deep into St. Lucia territory, and they regain possession because in rugby, when you get a penalty, if you kick that ball and it goes out on the full, you regain possession for the throw-in. And a throw-in is where you have a line-out, and the line-out is two teams line up against each other, and the ball is thrown down the middle of that line, and you try to out-jump your opponents to win possession. Now, even though it's a contest for the ball, again, as rugby always presents a contest for the ball, as in the scrum, so happens in the line-out. So here you have a line-out where the ball will be contested again. Even though it is your ball, the other team does get an opportunity to contest for it and win it back.
So what happens if that ball is not sent down the middle like you just said? What happens to the team who is throwing in?
So the referee will determine if that happens, because he stands at the back of that scrum, at that line out, and watching to see if the ball goes straight down the middle. If it doesn't go down the middle, then he will say not straight. He gives you an option of throw again, or you get a scrum. I'm not sure that was straight, but it's going on. So that's just me in the sideline. I can't see from here. So SVG on the attack, deep in the territory of the Lucians, who are not showing a lot of resistance right now. Another pass to a big Boston player who dumps an offload off to his center, taking it forward. He's picked up, manhandled, held on to. They're trying to stop him from going any yards.
You can
But
see
SVG have maintained it. They're screaming for it. Ooh, knocked on there by SVG in the end.
Did you see the St. Lucian player just now screaming for assistance as there was an overload on his side, and that would have been detrimental if that ball had gone down that side. And he is screaming his heart out, come across, but
So why didn't the coverage drift across to that side of the pitch since he was screaming for help so much?
You know that there's this ad about a lollipop, and they ask you how many licks did it take to get to the center, and go, the world may never know. That's one of those questions.
I'm not going to bother to give you my answer. I like that one better. So we have a scrum awarded to St. Lucia, averting what looked like what could be another try by SVG. So we're just a few meters, about on the 10-meter line of the St. Lucian team right now, deep in their half, with a scrum being taken.
Again, the score is 22-23. This is a
43.
43.
Yeah.
My apologies.
Be careful.
A 21-point lead for St. Vincent,
Who have come here to St. Lucia, taking the fight to the Lucians. The last time St. Lucia played them was a long time ago, and they won at home in SVG. So this is revenge in its sweetest form if the game continues to stay this way. Jerry smartly plays the ball over to his backs, who I believe did not recognize that they had amazing numbers if they had put the ball through their hands in that situation. Ball kicked off the park and has gone over to the graves in the back.
The
A new
referee-
ball.
The referee called it back though.
Yes, he did, but I'm just talking about where the ball went, which is in the graves, not the back.
Whoops.
You know that the graves are. I feel for the ball.
person who's going to get that ball because it is pitch black, and you know what they say at night.
Yes. I'm not going for that ball. It's staying in those graves until tomorrow. So,
Play rugby with it.
that's right. Ghost rugby. So, we're playing live human rugby over here on the park. St. Lucia taking the ball. Scrum half doing his little shimmy and dance and playing his 1-2 with Leroy. They know each other well. Unfortunate. A knock on there by St. Lucia turns the ball over on what looked like a promising attack.
And for the persons at home, Jerry, what is a knock on?
A knock on. When the ball does not go directly to hand, the ball hits your hand and goes forward, falls to the ground or hits another player.
I can't imagine the forwards are very happy right now for St. Lucia, to be quite honest.
They've been doing some hard yards and hard work for the entire game. One of their big forwards came off. He's back on. He's limping. He's not looking his best at this point. He's had a hard game. And so the strength of the Lucians is waning as the game goes on. The Vincentians look much stronger at this point. They're hungry. And they're just going at it, having fun. So the body language tells it all.
You know, earlier you stated about discipline, and I must say that I have noticed that St. Vincent has maintained their discipline when it comes to their line work. If you see how they set up right now off the scrum, they're ready, they're anxious, they're looking.
Jerry showing us some of the dark arts of rugby just now, trying to use his foot to dig that ball out the scrum. Unsuccessful, but fortunately for them, ball gets back in the hands of St. Lucia. High tackle comes in from SPG. Referee has his hand up for a penalty advantage. Ball hoisted out the back, no advantage gained so far. So referee letting them play a little bit to see what comes of it. At this point, he's going to let them continue. The advantage is still on. I believe it is still on. The back row is trying to do something nice with it, but the passes are not great. So he comes back for the penalty. Nothing gained from that. And the referee is signaling for a penalty.
Jerry, I honestly don't know how you do this. My heart, not because it's St. Lucia playing, I am invested in any rugby game, but my heart is on edge because, I mean, at this point,
I'm seeing knock-ons left, right, and center. So we have a knock-on right and a knock-on left, and the referee calls for all 3, 4, or 5 of them, smiles in the process because that was funny, and gives the ball over to, I believe, SBG for the first knock-on infringement by Jerry, the scrum half for St. Lucia, from a very, I'd say, creative pass.
It was. Like you said, that this game has been an unorthodox game for the entire game itself. So we're looking forward to what else can pop out.
Okay, the ball comes straight out. The scrum referee just realizes what's going on. I think the scrum half could have gotten away with that one, but for safety's sake, he blew the whistle as there was a pile up in the scrum, and we don't want anybody to get hurt. So I think this game is turning into a beautiful, fun match at this point, but still competitive. A lot at stake here for St. Lucia. Losing this game pushes them down the tables, and for next season in the RAN men's 15s competition, teams will be tiered. And so a loss here by St. Lucia might put them down to tier 3. There will be 3 tiers of teams, a top tier, second tier, and a third tier. So if St. Lucia finds himself in the bottom tier, then they will be in a hard fight to get to the top. SVG on the sideline already starting to celebrate, bringing out their flags. They're feeling like this game is in the bag. We're only 2 minutes away from the end of the match, I believe. So let's see what comes of it towards the end. Picked up by the number 8 at the back, and he's not stopping. Nobody can touch this gentleman at this point. A failing dive by the 10 to try and stop him, and he dives under the H, and he is celebrating in the best fashion possible for a number 8 to celebrate when you get a pick and go from the base of the scrum like that. It's a number 8's dream to pick up a ball from the back of the scrum, dart down the middle, take on 2 or 3 players, crash through the entire back line, and score between the H under the post.
And that the conversion was successful, and it brings the score to 50.
Half century.
Oh my goodness.
It's a cricket score. Come on, let's be honest. 50 is a cricket score, half century. We're in cricket country, so let's talk about cricket.
You're on your own on that one.
We are in a cricket playing nation, so that's a cricket score, half a century.
That is correct.
Not out. So here we go. Few minutes left in this game. St. Lucia still hungry, pushing the ball deep into SVG half. A good chase, but it bobbles out for it rolls out of bounds. And right now SVG in full control, comfortable and smiling, celebrating on the sideline are the players. I think they're going to be in Gros tonight, joining the Gros party here right next door.
And next door, you mean outside?
Outside. Just outside the stadium.
That is correct.
You step out of this venue and you're in the party.
That is correct.
And that party has already started by has. So we are not going home. We're just going to go to the party after this.
Pardon?
Well, I am going. I'm definitely going.
So
I'm not missing the street party tonight.
Gros Street Friday.
Throwing here taken by Oscar. Let's see how well SVG can defend this one. It's a long throw which goes straight into SVG hands, but a strange kick that goes straight through the line out and is knocked on. And the referee calls an end to what has been a very delightfully entertaining game in the RAN Senior Men's 15s Saints Clash. The Battle of the Saints. I keep calling it a clash because I've never seen Saints battle. It's clash.
Clash of the Saints, but it might have been some of the hits.
The size of the guys you saw.
Some giants up in here. Lord.
That was a great game.
It was.
Well played by SVG, who came all this way, well prepared. They fought through and came out with a huge score over St. Lucia. Congrats to our match officials who did an amazing job of keeping this game.
I do say it.
I must say it, an
the
amazing job.
Were on point as well. We didn't mention them a lot in the game, but they did their job.
Oh, amazingly.
They did.
It was amazing, beautifully done. And as it is in rugby, at the end of the match, both teams will gather and salute each other by forming a tunnel and shaking hands and congratulating each other on a well-played game. So this is the spirit of rugby being shown right here. It's love, it's brotherhood, it's sisterhood, it is family. And so we show that no matter how hard we play on the pitch, no matter how hard the hits come and the tussle and the fights, this is what we do at the end. We shake hands, we congratulate each other, and then afterwards we go and party in Gros.
So, repeat after me. Gros?
Gros.
There you go.
I keep saying Gros because I come from that side of the world.
Correct.
But I'm over here, it's Gros.
But like you were saying, Jerry, rugby is one of the few sports that we are friends right after the game.
Right after. All of the animosity, whatever anger you had is done. You're too tired anyway.
That's right.
All you have strength for now is to hold a drink in your hand and take it. So we have a final score of 50 to SVG over St. Lucia, 22 at home. And this is some kind of history, I believe. That's maybe the first time that SVG has beaten St. Lucia at home. So what will become of St. Lucia going into the next season of RAN 15's Senior Men? We look forward to hearing more from them and seeing what happens. And how will SVG fare going forward? Will this win give them the confidence they need to take on the Giants up north in the Caribbean.
So, but Jerry, since SVG won, where do they go?
Oh, they get a step up, but they did lose a few games coming here, so we will see what their fate, what lies for them in the rankings after this match. But this has been an excellent game, a fun game, an entertaining game, and an orthodox game,
Unorthodox. And-
but seriously fun.
but it was consistent in its unorthodoxness.
Indeed.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for tuning in.
Wait, before you send away all the people, I wonder if I could get the captain to come over here. Just
Oh,
give
maybe we can get G.I. Joe in the meantime.
please go get Mr. Dylan over here quickly before we shut down. He's right there. Yeah, and Sharma goes to get the hat-trick scoring beast from SVG. I want to say congratulations to SVG on a well-played game, and congratulations to St. Lucia on a well-hosted match and game. So I have with me the the hat-trick scoring gentleman from SVG, Mr. Dylan Durant, aka GI. I did tell people on live, or well, in the match commentary, that you have a special nickname that is very secret, and I told them that it is GI, and that they have to find out if they want to find out what else there is, and that's up to them to investigate. I not tell them nothing else. But congratulations on a good game, sir.
Thank you.
How do you feel, and what gave you the impetus to be charging down the pitch? I mean, what am I asking you? How was this game for you?
Well, so let me answer the first question. So, being the president, I was called upon my men to play. So, in truth, I was not the captain for this game, but I had to lead from front and set an example for my boys. And, well, we got the W. So, job well done to me. And I'm very proud of my boys. And just like to thank them to just continue to follow in the system. We've been working on it for the past 3 years. And we are finally seeing the fruits of our labor.
Well said, Dylan, and congratulations indeed. So, I saw you scampering. So, are you a winger actually who just plays in the forwards? Because this is the question we've been asking. Are you actually a winger? Because you were scoring down the wing and moving at an extremely fast rate.
So, I'm what you would call a Swiss Army knife. Anywhere you put me, I'm able to perform. But I'm a forward. My main position is open side flanker, number 7, but I'm a winger at heart.
I have a question. I heard that you have a secret nickname, and it starts with GI. So I'd like to know the rest of that nickname.
Okay, so back home, my main job is I'm a Coast Guard officer. So the GI, government issue. I do everything by the book, straight and narrow.
And there you have it, folks. He has revealed the secret nickname. So, yeah. So, hold on a second. Let me just double check something. I am here with Flaviel Gabriel from St. Lucia after a really tough home game facing the St. Vincent and Grenadines team. Talk to me. How was this one?
It was difficult, man. Real difficult. You could see the difference in the two teams. Look like they've been practicing for a while. We haven't been doing anything, so we were more concentrating on our sevens, carication sevens. Yeah. So, yeah, the teams wasn't training 15s.
As much, I understand. Now, a personal question before I ask you the next question is: you said you were playing with a bad ankle, but while you were running out there, you were doing the business. You were running right through. I never saw any bad ankle.
Let me tell you, the adrenaline took over, and that was it. I saw the gaps. I was playing to the rules of the game, so it looked like they don't know a lot bit of the rules. So I was taking advantage of the rules. So yeah, but.
So what would you say was the demise in the end for the St. Lucian?
Our bench was lacking. You could have seen is the under-19 new players, breeding in new players, so we didn't have a better bench.
I understand. Right. Well, it's a development system, yes. I guess, and at this point I would say a good start to the future.
Yeah. We just have to do some more recruiting for players going out and for props.
Yes.
Forward, the pack players, we're lacking heavily on the pack players. So.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I want to congratulate you on a well-played game. Congratulations to your team on a well-played match.
Yeah, man.
And I hope to see you guys again in the future,
Well,
doing it.
Not me, but the guys. I'm too old for that.
All right, have your ankle looked at. Take care. Thank you. Well, go. I'm here with Benson Nantan. It was a hard two words to say together, Benson Nantan. It's like one N. So nice to have you over here. This was a tough game in the beginning, but then towards the end, it looked like it wasn't that tough a game. Tell me, what was the strategy for your team to pull off this win?
Okay, exactly. We came here with a plan, and at the start, the guys were a bit frustrated because of the setbacks, and then I said to my team and I say, yo fellas, let's keep this plan going. We came here with a strategy and we're going to execute it, and that's what we did.
Well, yeah, I did speak to your coach at the beginning of the second half, and he said, I asked him what did he say to his players. He said, I told them they have to stick to their pods. So is that the message that came across?
Yes, we got discipline and we executed our mission.
Indeed. So one of the things I noticed towards the later part of the game, because in the first half everything seemed balanced, even Stevens, but towards the second half you looked the stronger team. What do you attest to that strength going down the end?
Well, my guys are a lot more fitter. We do a lot of fitness and that's what we use.
Indeed. I must say it showed at the end. And congratulations on the win.
Thank
it's
you very
great
much.
Talking to you.
Yeah.
All right, take care.
Yeah, thank you.
We're going to have one more individual come to camera so everybody can see him for just a second. This is Dylan Durant, the hat-trick scoring MVP for today's game. Congratulations. You have been declared the MVP for today's game. How do you feel?
Wow. Well, last words. This is actually my last game. Came out of retirement for this game and being awarded MVP. I must say, it feels good. Mighty proud of myself and my boys once again. And this is rugby, not an individual sport. Couldn't have done it without my boys.
Well said, Dylan. Thank you very much and congratulations.
Thanks again.
Well played.
Lovely job at the commentary.
Jerry Benswick here, signing off for RAN 15, senior men in St. Lucia. What a really, really, really entertaining game. Thank you, folks.